What is your thoughts on playing Tarkin, playing an actor who's played a recently deceased actor taking over the role? It's revolutionised way in filmmaking, but
yes, I mean, I think the important thing about that is that it was done as a tribute. It's done with great care and love for a wonderful actor. I mean, Peter Cushing was actually a hero of mine, but so I was very daunted by the idea of trying to do him justice, and it was an alarming experience. But it was meant well. It wasn't just a sort of gimmick. Yeah. It was because A New Hope, that our film Rogue One was a direct prequel. I mean, just bumped into the first one. It was fantastic to have that character there. He's one of the iconic, famous characters, and you can imagine the stress and the strain of doing that and thinking you were going to cock it up. So I was thin before I started the movie, but it was because he was such a lovely actor and had such a particular voice. And I'm not a mimic, and as I've said before, I said to them, well, get Rory Bremner if you get somebody else to do the voice, or and they said, no, we want you. And there were days when I would try to be more, or takes, of scenes where I would try to be as Peter Cushing-like as I could muster, and takes when the director would say, all right, well, we've got that, just be more Guy now. Because they chose me without any audition or anything from seeing work I've done, and I think they wanted it to be an essence that they could use rather than an absolutely accurate impression, which is just as well because I couldn't really do it. So I'm not that sort of a mimic. So, but I think and hope, in a way, that it won't open. It's so incredibly time-consuming and expensive to do, the CGI makeup. As I like to think of it as digital makeup. I think some people get confused that I was just sort of a figure standing there on green screen, and that but it is my little funny old face moving away there under and it's digital makeup and everything. So I think I can't see that it will be done a lot. I don't think it's opened floodgates to just having any old actor turn up and recreate. They may well, they could use it again. I think they've already decided not to with Carrie Fisher, haven't they? And I think it won't be, by and large, I don't think it'll be done, and I hope it will never be used for, bad effect.
During production, did you see the process? Like, because sometimes, or was it just when you went to the cinema and that's when you saw it?
There were a lot of reshoots, as you know, for story reasons on Rogue One. So I kept being clapped off, as they call it, the set, wrapped. Guy, thank you very much. Well, done it. I hope it's all right. And then I'd go home and think, oh, good, and then get a call a few weeks later saying, can you come back on June the 18th because we need to change this. Sometimes it would be just half a line, or even a word here, a word there. So it went on and on and on. And towards the end of that process, of course, I'm an actor, so I'm arrogant and vain, and so it's all about me, basically. So I thought, fucking hell, they're getting this set all up again. Everybody's back because they want me back because I mucked it up the first time. Is what I kept thinking. Not that I'm paranoid, but it was. Towards the end of the process, they showed me a tiny little snippet of what they'd done already, and I thought, oh, good. Well, it's not a disaster. And that was a relief.
As a fan of Peter Cushing yourself, what was your first interaction with him? In terms of his films, like the first time you saw him, and then I
think, like a lot of us, for a lot of us in our middle age, I suppose I am now, is that we sort of grew up as children I have memories of illegally sneaking to the sitting room and watching a bit of Hammer horror on the, and I always thought there was something about him that I thought was rather was lovely. His voice, which, I mean, I'm only successful, I think, in it up to a point. I think the impression, as it were, is not 100% accurate, but so it was. But it was I do remember it was his voice that I used to think was lovely. I mean, my great hero, in fact, was Peter O'Toole, another Peter. So. If they ever wanted a CGI Peter O'Toole, I could do a more accurate impression of him than of Mr. Cushing, I believe. But have to wear the blue-eyed contact lenses for that one. Oh no, I wouldn't. No, they'd do it in CGI. That'd be all right. Go through the agony of contact lenses. Yeah, but so I've always been aware of him, and to the point where you think, oh, he was one of those actors, I think, where you think, oh, good, Peter Cushing's in it. I can enjoy this, which is a tribute, I think, to any actor, really.
Absolutely.
So how does it feel like being at Comic Con?
It's very odd coming to take money from people, because I think that's a very strange thing. But it's no different, I suppose, to people paying to see a film or people paying to see you in the theatre, and I'm very grateful for it. But what makes it good, I think, what makes it a pleasant, enjoyable thing to do is the fact that people love the films. They love the characters. They really enjoy the experience of coming and meeting people and finding out a bit more about it and having a photo done and things like that. So I think it's surprisingly pleasurable. I was worried that I was going to. I was very worried I was going to sit there and nobody would want my photo at all. Thankfully, there's been a steady stream of people. So I've imagined coming and your name's in the programme and you're in the memorabilia section and nobody turns up to see you. They're all with Dave Prowse around the corner. But thankfully, no, not the case. So yeah, I'm loving it actually. It's very interesting, and also I met a young bloke who I know his mum. I've known his mother since I was about 7 and she was about 6, and I haven't heard from her for years. And he said she sends her love. And I thought, oh God, you never know who you're going to meet at the Excel.
So I'll ask the question that you
Sorry,
shouldn't ask.
can we just make this the last question as well, if that's okay?
Okay. I'll ask the question that you shouldn't ask. Star Wars or Star Trek?
As me, purely Guy, the personage, I'm not a huge follower, put it that way, of those sort of films. So the fact that I'm in one, though, is great pleasure. But I think, as I've done Harry Potter and Star Wars, I think I should do Star Trek as well now, don't you? Houlihan or someone, I can CGI. It's easy. I can do anyone. I think Star Trek next.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you.